welcome to the first edition of Living in Shelby Township. We hope you enjoy your time with us as we show you the people, places, events, and stories that make living in Shelby Township a one-of-a-kind experience. We'll take you behind the scenes in places like the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center, the Shelby Township Library, and the 1,100 acres of parkland so that you can have new ways to share the experiences of Shelby with you and your family. On this first edition, we're here at the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center because they have a fun new addition for you and the kids. Here with me is Megan English. Megan, what is it you do here?
So I am the assistant nature interpreter, which basically means that I run all the education programs and I help develop new exhibits like our pond display that we just put in. So this is our new turtle habitat.
This is brand new. What was here before this so that people know, where is this in representation of what used to be here?
Of what used to be here, so our box turtle tank used to be here against the wall, and we had different displays. Actually, all of these animal tanks used to be in a different spot. So we've really been changing stuff around here at the Nature Center, and we've got tons more improvements planned. So definitely love to have people come and check out what we're doing here.
So there are 4 different types of turtles in there.
Yes, so we have 4 different species in the pond here. There are 4 different turtles. We've got a yellow-bellied slider, we've got a midland painted turtle, we've got a red-eared slider, and a common snapping turtle.
And you mentioned earlier that it's a lady pond. Why is that? Because you've got male turtles and other tanks around here.
Right, so we don't put our female turtles and male turtles together because, first of all, we're a nature center, so we're not really interested in breeding any of our turtles. We don't really have the capacity to keep babies here. The other thing would be that if our female turtles were to get pregnant, they don't have adequate nesting area, so it could be potentially dangerous to their health if they don't find a good place to nest. And turtles can be pretty picky about where they nest. Snapping turtles will go up to a mile away from the lake that they live in order to find the perfect nesting spot.
They do not have a mile.
No, and they don't have a mile. And the snapping turtle is actually pretty good, was originally pretty good at escaping. She was how we turtle-proofed the whole thing, so we just put her in there and let her escape a couple times, and it's perfect.
How long have you guys been working on this? I feel like it's been evolving for a while now.
So I think the turtles went into it in the end of January. So, and it's not quite done yet. So the whole thing is made possible through a grant that we got from the Shelby Community Foundation. And we are continuing to grow on it. So we've got some native plants ordered that we're gonna put in so that people can kind of get an idea of an actual pond habitat. The whole point is to recreate Michigan pond habitat. So to give people a real idea, except indoors,
right? So
that you can get a little piece of the outdoors.
And all of these turtles are turtles that we can find in our state?
Yes. Yep. So these are all native turtles, and they thrive here in Michigan. They do really well.
So, and when you come here, you can obviously just walk up to the pond. Is there someone explaining what's going on? I know you said that there's, an evolution chart.
Right, so we've got the display sign, which is also new, so we just had this printed up. We are always here. We've always got staff on hand to answer questions. I mean, if someone's here and wandering around, we're almost constantly talking to people, so we're always happy to explain things, answer questions. We love our other critters, some of our animals, people that come here regularly know we like to pull them out for people and let them pet them and interact with them. So we're always open to questions if people are here with them. So.
Okay, so we've got the Turtle Pond, newest edition,
right,
open for everyone. What's next after this?
So we've actually got a couple of different displays that we're getting ready to put in. We're going to make some changes to our river display. Our river display is super popular with especially younger kids. It's a very interactive exhibit where they can go in and climb around underneath the tunnel in the river. And it kind of gives them an idea. So we've got a couple.
Kids? I can't go?
You can.
Oh, okay.
Fit.
All right.
I mean, I crawl in there occasionally. It's like a great spot to, just hang out. But it's basically we're going to put up a couple of new description, signs like this. We're going to put some new descriptions in, change out the displays, and we've got other displays up our sleeve that we're going to be putting out too. So we're excited about it.
That's great.
Yeah.
And we talked about the fact that you guys are training these turtles.
Yes. So
can we see a little bit of this training?
We can definitely see a little bit of it. I can totally feed them a worm for you guys if you want to see.
Oh,
hopefully we can get them to
come
to the
side.
See it. Yeah, definitely.
do encourage you, now that I've seen it in person, come down to the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center to come see the new turtle pond. It's very cool and you'll love it. The kids will love it too. Let's talk summer and ways to beat the heat. Whether it's taking a dip in the pool or running through the backyard sprinklers, we want to give you tips on how to stay cool. Now, you can't take a dip in here, but we're going to head out to the Chief Jean Shepherd Park, where April Morin has details on the much anticipated Shelby Township splash pad.
It may be dirt and gravel now, but very soon this entire area is going to be transformed to a splash pad here at the Jean Shepherd Park.
Jean Shepherd Park, we're very excited about 2018 summer season due to the fact of the splash pad. It's great news for Shelby Township Parks and Rec and all of our residents due to the fact Memorial Day weekend, Shelby Township is going to have its first splash pad here, so real excited about it.
As construction takes place outside the old Soccer City development, the indoor check-in concessions is being revitalized, and just like the rest of the park, has a firefighter theme and resembles that of a very cool fire station.
When you get into the splash pad, you're actually going to go through the front door of the pavilion in Jean Shepherd Park, and the old ticket window, when it was Soccer City back in the day, it makes a perfect ticket window and concession stand for us. So we're going to have non-prepared foods like chips and pop and ice cream and things for the kids, and there'll be a little lounge area just inside the building there where you can take a break from the pad, come inside, cool off for a minute, and have an ice cream.
Flynn also talks about the exciting water equipment features.
There's like 10 or 15 different features, and it's all going to be firefighter related, so the kids will be able to shoot fire hydrants at each other, and there's like a big flaming bridge, and there's all kinds of different, it's all firefighter related, but I think there's like 10 or 15 different stations that they'll cycle through and they'll be able to run around.
Parks and Recs Director Joe Youngblood says there will be a small admission fee.
We are still discussing it, but preliminary, we're looking at a $2 fee per child. Adults are free. So for example, if my wife and I take my 2 children, it would cost us $4. Although, Shelby residents, you can buy a $25 annual pass. Once again, these are preliminary fees, but we're looking to keep that number pretty darn close to that.
Although the splash pad is only for Shelby Township residents, there are some exceptions.
It will be for residents only. With that being said, if let's say Grandma and Grandpa here in Shelby Township live here, and they wanted to take their 2 grandkids that live in Rochester, well, they can bring their 2 grandkids. Grandma and Grandpa have to come, bring them, and there would be a fee, a $5 fee for non-residents. So once again, it's going to be pretty darn close if it's not that number, but that's what we're looking at right now.
Mr. Youngblood says there are exciting times ahead for the township.
Real exciting, and here at Shelby Parks and Rec, we always are looking to improve the quality of life for our residents, and this is one area that I think we've really nailed it, along with Treasurer Mike Flynn and all the work he's done, the Township Board, and also the Shelby Township Parks and Recreation Committee to make this all happen.
The splash pad will be open Memorial Day through Labor Day in Shelby Township. For Living, I'm April Morton.
With the way this weather is going, it might be a chilly spring. So if you're looking for an intriguing crime novel to sit down and read, or a superhero movie to sit down and watch, the Shelby Township Library has some fun page-turning novels and exciting new movies for your entertainment.
Well, spring is a hot publishing season, and the library has a ton of new great books in for readers of all ages. Starting off with picture books for our little listeners, you might want to try Island Born by the Pulitzer Prize winner Juno Diaz, and full of bright illustrations. Little Lola doesn't remember the island where she was born, but through the memories shared by her friends and family, she's able to take a creative discovery journey through her imagination and imagine the bright diversity of the culture that she came from. And she realizes that this island, though she doesn't live there anymore, will always be part of her life.
Another new book on our shelves this week is The First Family, written by Daniel Palmer. Daniel Palmer is the son of the late author Michael Palmer, and he picks up right where his father left off with medical thrillers that are fascinating and intriguing and full of twists and turns. In this one, the president's son is suddenly ill with a rare disease. No one can figure out exactly what's going on. Is it truly a rare disease, or is he actually being slowly poisoned and someone is trying to kill the president's son? This fascinating thriller will keep you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
When I select nonfiction informational books for the library, biographies and memoirs are always popular, and right now there's a ton of new biographies getting ready for the upcoming royal wedding May 19th. So just out today is Meghan, the American Princess. The author of that is Andrew Morton, and it chronicles her childhood and her early life and her friends, and with interviews from friends and family and co-workers, and her relationship with Harry. There's also, just for fun, we've got brand new travel books if you're planning to go to London. Right now it's 70 and sunny there, so it's a good time to go to London. And if you're not heading to London but you just want to celebrate the royal wedding, we have a brand new cookbook called The Perfect Cake from the America's Test Kitchen. And there isn't exactly a the royal wedding cake is supposed to be lemon with elderberry with buttercream and fresh flowers. There isn't exactly that recipe, but there is definitely a lemon cake and some buttercream recipes, and you could do your best.
Check out any one of these books and all of our great new books at the Shelby Township Library.
Among Shelby Township's greatest assets are the world-class recreational opportunities it provides to residents. Within its borders, the township offers more than 1,100 acres in township parks, sports fields, playgrounds, and trails. Shelby Township provides an escape for nature lovers with many of its parks. Home to more than 100 species of native birds and animals, including nesting American bald eagles, and more than 80 species of trees, shrubs, wildflowers, it's hard not to fall for the township's beauty. Along with its parks and recreation facilities and programs, Shelby Township is home to Cherry Creek Golf Club, one of the finest public golf and banquet destinations in Michigan. The township also shares the 4,000-acre Stony Creek Metro Park, which is home to the beautiful and tranquil 500-acre Stony Creek Lake. Shelby Township also hosts part of the Macomb Orchard Trail, a 24-mile hike and bike path that connects 180 miles of trails across southeastern Michigan. Shelby Township's parks and access to the Clinton River are the heart of what makes the township a better place to play. Add the township's hundreds of miles of hiking and biking trails, and it's easy to recognize Shelby Township's access and opportunity for recreation are like no other places in the region. Among these trails is the westernmost portion of the Macomb Orchard Trail, which spans from the township's western border and ends in downtown Richmond. There are also trails that connect the township's 800-acre Riverbends Park to Lake St. Clair. Shelby Township is also home to a key connection of the Macomb County's 70-mile trail loop and the planned Iron Bell Bike Trail, which will ultimately connect the city of Detroit to the state of Wisconsin. Shelby Township's trails offer residents and visitors a scenic mix of up-north hikes and great asphalt bike paths. All of these amenities ensure that no matter what your outdoor interests might be, there is a place in Shelby Township for you and your family. A better place.
We've got great parks here in Shelby Township. Make sure you take a relaxing stroll or a hike through one this summer. You'll see a deer running across your path or a squirrel scurrying up a tree. But if you look a little closer, or more importantly, under, you'll find the blue-spotted salamander. Our Shelby Township's assistant naturalist, Megan English, teaches us a little bit more about this Michigan native.
My name is Megan English. I am the assistant nature interpreter, and today we are here at the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center, and I am going to talk to you guys a little bit about blue-spotted salamanders. Blue-spotted salamanders are a Michigan native species. They actually live in woodlands and forested areas around this area. So if you went out and you happen to have a backyard woodland, if you flip over logs, these guys are very, very shy and they're very sensitive to the sun. So they tend to spend a lot of time underground. They're what's called a mole salamander, so they'll actually burrow into the ground, especially in the winter right now. You're probably not going to see them a whole lot. because they are cold-blooded, so they hibernate through the winter. Very, very sensitive, so these guys are actually amphibians, like frogs. And so amphibians are what we call a bioindicator species, which means that their very sensitive skin will absorb toxins that they have present in the soil around them. So if there's anything impacting the soil, these guys absorb it and it can actually make them sick, which is why, you know, places, parks and stuff will do population surveys for this type of animal, and it helps them get an indication of how much damage there has been historically to the soil in these areas. We like him because he's super fun. He's one of my favorite Michigan. He's one of my favorite Michigan animals. So, but they're just nice and shy. If you take a look at his body, which he might be kind of hard to see, but if you take a look at his body, his tail is actually super long. Blue spotted salamanders are really cool because they have a really special predator defense that they do called the Unken reflex. And what they do is they'll put their tail up in the air and they'll wave it back and forth like a flag. And so when they're waving it, they produce this really white, milky, like mucus on it. And so if a predator goes to see that, his tail will stand out really well against the dirt. And then they'll grab his tail and that mucus actually tastes really, really, really nasty. It's super bitter, really gross tasting. And so then the predator will spit him out and he gets to run away. So I think it's pretty neat that something so tiny has such a crazy defense, which is always fun to hear about. So if you're ever in the woods, definitely take a look under a nearby log for these guys. If you do go looking for logs, before you pick them up, like I said, their skin is really sensitive, so actually we really recommend rubbing your hands in the dirt before you try and pick them up. So yeah, I'm totally telling you to go home and get dirty. It's totally a good thing. And then, you know, when you're done taking a look at them, they're super cool. Make sure you put them back and put their log gently back over top of them because no one wants their home destroyed. So make sure you're careful about it.
As flowers begin to bloom and nature comes alive, we're setting our sights outside to the trails in our parks. Our April Morton sits down with the Riverbends Park Coordinator Jim Gamicha to talk about how you can get the most out of our trails for exercise and relaxation.
Spring is officially here, and that means that the trails here at Riverbends Park is going to be full soon. There are plenty of activities and programs for the entire family.
Our recurring programs that are our nature tales, our homeschool. We have many camps coming up for the summer. And then our springtime programs have changed a little bit. We have our typical River Day and our Heron Fest. So we use our trails, the lower trail and the upper trail, during all of our programs. River Day, for example, we'll use the lower trail to get to the Clinton River to do our pond dipping. We use our upper and lower trails for a variety of camp activities and program activities, whether it be plant identification or listening and looking for signs of spring or summer or any sort of habitat investigation. We are constantly using our natural resources and our trails to look for those signs of spring or signs of critters.
So just what type of critters can you see on the trails?
We have everything from skunks to deer, turkeys, quite a few turkeys around now, and the deer population's back up where it was many years ago. And skunk, possum, raccoon, woodchucks, the occasional woodchuck and groundhog, squirrels and chipmunks and birds of various types are always at our feeders each day. So.
Here at the Riverbends 22-mile trail is an actual marked 5K.
It follows some of the mountain bike and some of the paved trail over there, but it is now, thanks to an Eagle Scout last year, it is now completely marked for 5K, so there's no need for anybody really to prepare for a 5K run. We've been doing a lot of them over there, so typically they would have to go out and stake their own trail. Now it is completely marked for the distances, the start and the finish.
In addition to the 5K trail, you can enter the trails from the organizational day camp. As well, the upper and lower trails can be accessed behind the Nature Center. In Shelby Township, for a living, I'm April Morton.
The Shelby Township Library is putting technology at your fingertips. Patrons can now take home your very own Wi-Fi hotspot so you can surf the internet on the go. Our Robert Gambrell is at the Shelby Township Library to show you how you can get your hands on one.
The Shelby Township Library is bringing something new to the township, something that they like to call Wi-Fi hotspots.
They are circulating Wi-Fi hotspots, which means you get to check out the internet. So these Wi-Fi hotspots are available to any Shelby Township resident 18 years or older with a library card.
Now, if you want to receive a Wi-Fi hotspot, you can take the box here to the circulation desk, and it's not that difficult to download.
It's so simple. All you have to do is get out this Wi-Fi hotspot, turn it on, and then connect all the devices in your home to this Wi-Fi hotspot.
Wi-Fi hotspots have been a huge success for the Shelby Township Library.
The first day that we had them, we were explaining the Wi-Fi hotspots to someone who was checking it out, and the person behind them got up to the desk and said, "I want one too." And so we ended up checking it out to multiple people that day. But people have told us that they're using them for family reunions out of town, or they're going to a business conference and they're going to take that with them.
Now you, the resident, will really enjoy the Wi-Fi hotspot.
We are excited to be able to have sort of a cutting-edge technology to offer to our Shelby Township residents. And we know that this has been a successful program in other communities, and we want our residents to be able to have the same services that they can find that other communities offer.
For living in Shelby Township, I'm Robert Gambrell.
Thanks for watching the first edition of Living in Shelby Township. We'll see you next time.